Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside GENIE, where we'll be looking today at the race meeting from the Polytrack, Greyville, the Polytrack, on the 24th of March, 2020. Before we look at the form and the betting, there's just one or two things I would like to discuss with you quickly. I just want to remind you guys that subscribe to Outside GENIE. We got a special for March, for April and May, and the remainder of March. For 400 Rand, you will get the selections at a big discount, and you will receive selections until end of May. Then we've got a long-term package for 6 months from now to the end of August, which would obviously include the champion season at Greyville, or and that's for 1,200, or you can subscribe till the end of March. I just want to quickly mention again today that unfortunately I'm scheduled for another operation on Friday. So I will be doing the selections tomorrow for Turffontein Saturday. And Saturday selections, because there are a few future races again on Saturday, the selections will only be for my subscribers. So if you want to receive Saturday and the rest of the month, you can subscribe to that for 150 Rand to receive those subscriptions for the weekend. Then I'm also launching a new service. A lot of guys ask me, if I can help them. They're new in the game, they want to know this or they want to know that. And then I decided that I'm going to start this following service where you can have a one-on-one meeting with me. And this has never been done before by any tipsters that I know, where you can talk to a tipster. But again, I'm not seeing myself as a tipster. I'm seeing myself as a form analysis, and I'm willing to share my knowledge with you. I mean, if you're sick, you consult your doctor. If you need legal advice, you consult with your lawyer. And if you need advice on your racing and punting, you can now consult outside GENIE. So we will do it via a Zoom call with Outside GENIE, and you can discuss whatever you want, and I will advise you to the best of my ability. Here's just a few thoughts on what we can discuss: your betting strategy, how to punt to win, how to use computer formulating your bets, how to find outsiders, learn more about handicapping, and any other questions that you might have, and I'll see how I can assist you. I will spend 50 minutes with you, and you can use that time to discuss any racing matters and or ask questions. I really believe that such an appointment will benefit you greatly in your punting, because I'm sure I can add value to your punting. I will also record the meeting so that you will receive the recording in order for you to rewatch should you want to listen again to some of the matters discussed. The cost for this 50 minutes is 250 Rand paid in advance. And then as a bonus, I will also give you 30 days free daily form analysis from Outside GENIE. So if you want to make a booking, please send me a direct message. Don't post on the group. I mean, this is a private matters. You don't have to, and we don't have to share that you are looking for advice. So you can WhatsApp me on 083 585 5133. And I want to urge you, you might think 250 Rand is a lot of money, but if I can give you advice that's going to put more money in your pocket, much more than 250, certainly that is the best way to go. I've got experience. I've been reading the computer form since I was 13 years old. I'm now 60. Certainly, I know what to look for in finding winners and outsider selection. So I'm willing to share that knowledge with you. So let's have a look at the racing today, and we kick off at the Polytrack of 8 races today, and race 1 is off at 1,300 hours, 1,000 meters, maiden plate. Now, you will see today that Paul Peter is in town, Candace Dawson is in town, and Lyle Hewitson has got a lot of mounts that has got chances. I'm sure he's going to be favorite in a couple of races. Warren Kennedy is riding a few good horses. And I just had a look here at the wins on this track. Here they got Polytrack jockeys, and you'll see here top jockeys between Warren Kennedy and Lyle Hewitson. They've won 71 races Warren Kennedy has got a strike rate of 22.5%. Lyle Hewitson has got a strike rate of 50%. And here, even Keegan DeMello is in a mix of 15.7. And then Basil Marcus at 19%. Muzieni 11%. Sean Wheel 11%. Carl Strait on 12%. Shelvin Woodley 7.4%. Dylan 10%. And Gov Wright just under 10%. So the majority of your races is between the top four: Warren Kennedy, Lyle Hewitson, Keegan DeMello, and Anton Marcus. So let's have a look at the first race, and I'm going to start here at the first race. We're going to look at the betting first. Here's the betting as follows. Number 1, Green Hill 9 to 10, Mr. Cat 3 to 1, Dawn Raider 11 to 1, 11 to 1, Earn Your Fate, Love Lies 11 to 1, English Princess 11 to 1, 22 to 1, and Zuberi, and 28 to 1, Leopard Lady. So certainly it looks like number 1 is a strong favorite, and you can't find fault with number 1's form. It has been running some decent races, and has run against some, you can see in 8 runners, 1 winner, 9 runners, 2 winners. So certainly in the fields that he has competed, was certainly competitive, and therefore I would think he must be a huge runner in this race from draw 1, Lyle Hewitson on board. Then for outsider selection, I've only got one outsider selection. That's number 6, Love Lies. Love Lies did show a bit of speed in both his races. Is now getting -4. Drawn 6. I'm surely he's going to go to the front or be in the vanguard in the front. And definitely a contender. Paul Peter might be looking to run the exacta here. And then for my other selection, you need to include it is What a Winter out of Tail of the Cat mare. Certainly, I think there's some speed in this. And Warren Kennedy is riding, and Warren Kennedy normally rides for Paul Peter. So, but I think because Warren do a lot of riding for Gavin van Sale, I think Gavin has got the first options on him in KwaZulu-Natal. So certainly want to include. Another horse that you maybe want to include is number 8 is number 3, and that is Dawn Raider, who didn't have a bad race, has rested for 101 days, but ran a nice race behind Bernie's Dream, but it was on the turf. Now first time out on the poly, very well bred, so look out for this one. Well, not that well, but nicely bred. So let's move on to race number 2. We have another Paul Peter runner as favorite, also a strong favorite, 19 to 20, Sabrina Fairchild, Cape Diamond 4 to 1, Varvicious 4 to 1, Indigo Moon 6 to 1, Highborn 10 to 1, Flagon 18 to 1, Princess Fee 35 to 1, and Scratch number 2. So when I look at a card, I didn't realize number 2 was scratched, and that was actually my first selection. But since this horse is scratched, it certainly is giving Sabrina Fairchild a huge chance in this race. Lyle Hewitson on board. I'm sure he's going to go and sit near the front of this horse, just let the horse run on at the end, Sabrina Fairchild. And for outsider selections, I like to look up number 6, Indigo Moon. Indigo Moon did try a little bit further last time out, but faded at the end of the day, and but was in front 200 meters, 400 meters from home, and with Richard Fourie on board, certainly a very competent jockey, definitely in with a chance. And then number 7, Varvicious, is also a horse that has been running well in his last 2 races, and then also ran well against Umzinduzi, and has got Calvin Habib on board today. I don't know what happened here, because normally this horse has been ridden by Shelvin Woodley, but they've now jogged him off and put on Calvin Habib. I'm not sure what the reason is for that. So then we move on to race number 3, which is another maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,400 meters. And here we have another strong favorite, number 2, Solar, also Lyle Hewitson on board, Global Appeal 9 to 2, Amplify 5 to 1, 10 to 1, Royal Croteur, Diamonds and Tots, Elf 20 to 1, and Better the Rest. So here my selections is Number 2, the favorite. I've been following this horse for a long time now, and I think today is a day that he's ready to win. He's got a nice draw. Lyle Hewitson on board for Peter Muscat. And then for outsider selections, I'm going for number 3, Amplify. I know this mare Turandot, she has thrown quite a few nice offspring. And I would think that this horse is looking for the 1400 meters, has got Warren Kennedy on board, drawn free, certainly won't make this trip here just to have a look at the sea. So certainly Amplify must go into all your bets. And then we have number 10, Royal Couture. The rest of the field doesn't look too strong, so certainly horses that you can include. This horse ran on nicely on Scottsville behind Love of London last time out, 1.5, and can maybe be considered for the back ends of your quartets and trifecta selections. And also another horse that you definitely need to include is number 4, Global Appeal. I've been also following this horse, and it is improving slowly. They have had a few nice runs, his last few runs, and certainly a horse that has a huge chance in this race. And we move on to race number 4, which is a Phyllis Mares Handicap 68 over 1400 meters. And here the betting is as follows. Number 4, Ashmere 33 to 10, segment 7 to 2, Ingest 5 to 1, 13 to 2, Hard Money, Adriano Spinner 10 to 1, Maiden France 11 to 1, Matadora's Pride 14 to 1, 15 to 1, Eagle Dust Chase 16 to 1, and longer the rest. So here my first selection is another Paul Peter selection, horse number 2, Sekimit. Now this horse is now running here in a D Division 65. But you will see this horse has run against the likes of Rius Winter, Miss Khalifa, Bergerac, in stronger opposition that is running here today. Star Flash came out to run again the other day. Yet again, we got Wisteria Walk. And I think if we can improve some of those runs behind Miss Khalifa or Bergerac, or even this one behind Wisteria Walk, would certainly be in for a huge chance, and has got Warren Kennedy on board, who's got a good record on this horse, 3 runs, 1 win, and a second. And I'm thinking this Wilson Getteridge filly, if she takes to the poly, she's going to be hard to beat in this field today. And for outsider selections, I'm going for number 1, Ariana Spinner. You can ignore his last run before that was involved in the finishes. And I think today with this, over this 1400 meters, course of distance 5 run, 1 win, and 2/3, certainly not adverse to the distance, can certainly be involved in the finish. Ignore the last run. And then my other outsider selection is number 11, which is Hot Money. Jacobs on board, getting the minus 1.5. Also, horse has been running places there and thereabouts over this course and distance, 4 runs, 2 seconds, and 2/3. So certainly can not be overlooked in this company. Definitely do include. And another horse that you want to include is number 4, which is the favorite Alsmere, Lyle Hewitson on board. Definitely he makes a big, huge difference. That ran behind Ariana Spinner last time out, and then behind Iris Bell. But I do think that the Flower Alley by Count Dubois may, the distance won't be a problem. Also, he made from the Jeff Woodruff stable, where you'll see also run against like in a 90 behind Gary Princess and Boyley, all of them good horses. So, but there's a number of horses in this field that also needs that you need to look at. Matadora's Pride is certainly also a horse that can surprise. I haven't included in my play, but you can only tip so many horses. And then also Maiden France is a horse that I think is going to improve again. She won a maiden quite easily. It doesn't, the 0.25 doesn't look like she won far, but she came from behind and she just went past him like they were standing still. And I think that the 1400 will also be to her liking, elusive fought by a goalkeeper mare. So then we move on to race number 5, which is another maiden plate over the 1600 meters. And here we have the betting as follows. Number 8, Rock Flight, 13 to 10, Bells and Whistles, 5 to 2, Offsides, 28 to 10, Mighty Trimmy, 15 to 1, 22 to 1, and longer the rest. Now, also, this is a race where we have a strong favorite, number 8. But number 8, Rock You, is definitely a horse that has got ability, is very well bred, a half sister to Irish Flame, but has disappointed in the past when favorite. So certainly not a horse that I will bank in my pick six, but has got Mona Kennedy on board. So there are one or two that can trouble him. For outsider selections, I looked at number 4, Suntrax. Now, Suntrax is a horse that Charlie Nassif is bringing to the poly track. Has never run on a poly. The form is not very good, but you know, I always respect Tony Nassif. If he brings a horse to the track, to the poly track in Natal, or any horse to Natal, you need to take notice of that. So do include in your play, because certainly on this form will definitely make the dividends pay. I think it's currently 35 to 1, but you never know. Has got an apprentice on board, so it's getting -2.5. Anything could happen. And then my other outsider selection is number 9, which I think is a nice, which I would probably pop into my back end of my quartets and trifectas. A Pomodoro by National Emblem Mare. He's only finding his feet now, and maybe the 1600 meters can include. The form doesn't look like it's strong, but you know, Golf Puller is no fool. The Hollywood Syndicate, and I think in number 9 definitely needs to include into all of your play. Then another horse that you need to have a serious look at is number 6, Bells and Whistles. Has been running there and thereabouts, 4th, and has run a second behind Joyful Winter, and certainly they won't have a problem with the distance. And it comes out one of those Rose Bay. This is a mare that has thrown quite a number of good horses in the time. One of Douglas Gamble's, foundation mares, certainly in with big chance. Also in with chance in number 7, Offsides. Also a horse that looks like it's improving. That was coming from the Val, Silvano by Stormcat mare, coming from Gauteng, reasonably formed, and maybe the polytrack will suit. So certainly do include in all of your play. We then move on to race number 6, which is a novice handicap. I don't know why they always bother with all these inventions. Just keep a novice plate, and a graduation plate, and then a graduation plate. Now we've got a novice handicap, so that means it's a handicap, but it's a handicap for one-time winners. Oh boy, 1600 meters, Class C, average winner rated 78. So let's have a look at the betting. Here it's number 9, Magical Midlands, 18 to 10, Captain Who, 11 to 2, High Bull, 7 to 1, Count March, 6 to 1, Psycho King, 8 to 1, Trump Turo, 9 to 1, 11 to 1, Gavel Strike, Love the View, 16, Lord of the Manor, 18, and Freedom's Fire, 18. So here my first selection race, number 6, is number 3, Gavel Strike. Now, Gavel Strike, that one is maiden very well on this poly 1600 meters. So course and distance, 1 run, 1 win. But then you'll see here's a race behind Mike's Pride. Now, I lined up the race for you, and I just want to show you, they took this horse for the Empress Palace Ready to Run Cup. Now, if you have a look what was running in this race, and you bring those horses, any of these horses in this finish in front of Gavel Strike, they will murder this field. Mike's Pride, 4 wins. War of Athena, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. I mean, I just need to. Flying Carpet, after this run, was the highest rated maiden in South Africa. Afternoon Tea has run some decent races. Miss Elegance is also a horse that's running in Future Race Company. And here you have Gavel Strike, 9 lengths behind in 6th place. Now, even the horses that ran behind her, there were some winners out of that. Lady of the Swiss Bank finished 18 lengths behind, has been winner. Harlequin Jack is a winner. But even in that field, Harlequin Jack was a winner. Swiss Bank was a winner. Absolutis was a winner. The Cop was a winner. You know, so certainly this horse ran in a much stronger field than she'll ever meet here. And I think at 12 to 1, certainly a very good price. It's now 11 to 1. Just now it was 12 to 1 earlier when I did my selections. So, and with Calvin and Beep from draw 3, I think this horse is going to run a huge race. Definitely. There's Willow Express. I just want to check something on Willow Express here. Which race was that? Willow Express was the one just before she won a maiden. So they just quickly have a look. Okay, Gavel Strike. That's not the one I'm looking for. But even here, you can see she ran behind Silver Cent. There is Galway, won 3 races in a row. I'm looking for this race, Willow Express. You see, Willow Express, I just caught my eye. I haven't even looked at it. Willow Express won over the weekend again. There was a horse that I've been following, and he won a nice race over the weekend, Willow Express. Here's Ferrari Eyes, also a winner, Gavel Strike a winner. Here's Ibutu, also 2 winners out of that. Rocket Rumba winner, Philip Speller winner. And then Gavel Strike, I know when she won a race. Let's have a look at it just for interest. Oh, there's also a winner, 1 or 2 winners. There's Sarapan and Pekilunu, also a winner. So I would think certainly that Gavel Strike really has good form and definitely a horse that you need to include in all your fight. You'll see this horse runs on from behind all the while. But I had some, look at this, 10 out of 12, 10 out of 15, 11 out of 11, 13 out of 14. There she was draw 3 out of 11. She had a decent draw even before that. So this horse really battled to get some nice draw. But when she gets the draw, she runs on well. And today they've got this Calvin Habib up. He likes to win. He's a very competent jockey. And I think Gavel Strike today in this race, a huge runner. In my outsider selections, number 2, High Bull. Here's Selvin Moody is on board. Ran second to behind Spring Fling. Spring Fling has won 3 races in a row now. So certainly that would enhance High Bull's chances. Has also been running in C divisions and B divisions behind Flight Song. Here behind Flight Song, that beat Star Crusade. Star Crusade, I think, also winner, as you can see here. 4 out of 4 runners, 2 wins, 11 runners. So High Bull, I would think in this race, a very serious runner and can be the biggest opposition to Gavel Strike at 7 to 1. And then we got down here at number 10. Also a horse that's down in the betting, and I think this horse, Freedom Fire, I spoke to Gavin one day about this horse when he won his maiden by 7 legs. And he told me this is a very good horse. Last time out, I took it to the front, which I think was totally the wrong thing to do, but was from a bad draw and was getting the -4. Today, Warren Kennedy is getting the ride, and I'm sure Warren is going to place this horse nicely and let him run on the end as he did last time when he rode it, when he won his maiden on the poly. So certainly I would think number 10, Freedom's Fire, surely a horse that you need to include. Here we have the favorite, number 9, Magical Midlands. That one is maiden in Kenilworth. It's coming from Kenilworth now, first time out on the pony for Grant Cotson. So, but can be anything. Was beaten by Zeb. Zeb was an old campaigner. That day I gave Zeb, I think he was like 40 to 1. Was my outright selection that day. Was beaten by Comedy Ding last year in a small future. Klavervlei. Yeah, that race, that is the race that we just had on Sunday. And he ran 10, 16 behind Comedy Ding and then ran second to fourth at Ethiopia, which has won another race again, 2 races after this. Heartbreak Hotel ran a good race on Saturday. So certainly also I would think with potential, but it's going to be a nice race to watch, and I think it's going to be very competitive. So let's move on into the next race, which is race number 7, which is a merit 80 handicap, 1,000 meters. This is also going to be a fast race. Don't blink. Here we have Sinecock 3 to 1, Kings Road 92, Ace of Spades 11 to 2, Valenta 11 to 2, Xavier 17 to 2, Wiz of Odds 9 to 1, to Knights Fight Night 17 to 1, 10 to 1, Diamazo 14 to 1, Odin. Now here's a difficult situation. At this stage, I saw here that Peterson was booked to ride King's Road, but when I looked at the betting, I see there's no jockey, so I'm not sure whether he's riding or he's just not riding this horse, because it's all about weights. Because if this horse, King's Road, ran behind Shinnecock and Valiente, now with this weight thing between him and Valiente is exactly the same weight difference, so Valiente can finish in front of him. But on his run behind Shinnecock, he now has a 1.5 kilogram pull because of the -4. But if the -4 fell away, then certainly Shinnecock can beat him again. So certainly this opens up this race. So you're going to have to check, what the situation is on the jockeys and who's the jockey who's going to ride here. But saying that, my first selection is number 1, Ace of Spades. This horse finished behind Battle Force. I think Battle Force is now a 3-time winner. And then got run out of it by Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, I think, is also going to be a very good race. And then last time just jumped and went. And although in a Work Riders Maiden, they never saw this horse again. And in today, he's only carrying 56, where some of your top horses in this race is carrying 60. So certainly this horse is definitely in with a chance. And then here at the bottom, you've got number 9, Valiente. Now, Valiente jumped also last time out. They never saw it, but it was Carl Stadium. Now today, it's got Jabu Jacobs on board, getting a -1/2. Last time, 2 runs back, Jabu Jacobs lost the weights and the horse ran third, 1.3 behind King's Road. And they say he lost its weight. So again, then we're coming back to that form behind King's Road. We don't know how much of a weight he was underrated, but here he ran against King's Road again. Also, so or certainly this horses has met each other a number of times, and anything can happen. So number 9, Valiente, certainly you need to include in all of your calculations. And then here we have number 7, Savior. Savior is also a horse that's got speed, has won 2 races from 9. Luke Ferraris on board from draw 7. So, and I think maybe of all the horses that Candace Dawson is bringing to the track, this one might have the best chance to win. Has been running against strong horses in Gauteng, Rock of Africa, but Var out of Western Wintermere is certainly going to love the poly track. So definitely also a horse that you need to include in your pick sixes and all your play. Number 7, Savior. And then, as I said, we have number 2. We've discussed Jair Shinnecock, also won nicely last time out, has met some of these runners before in terms of behind King's Road. So, but he's also a strong contender, certainly also, but carrying also 59.5. So definitely an open race here, few horses with chances. We then move race to 8. Race 8 is a Phillies Mare 76 handicap class C, average minutes rated 75. Also a very competitive race, also horses with chances. Here's number 8, Purple Merchant, 33-10. Diamonds and Dust, 9-2. Wildly in Love, 7-1. 17-2, Glitter and Gold, beat it 11-1. Royal Majesty, 12-1. Susie Wood, 12-1. See My Vision, 12-1. Bella Barina, 12-1. 14-1, and better the rest. But when I had a look here, the favorite number 8, which is Purple Merchant. Now, Purple Merchant is a trippy by Western Wintermere, also very well bred. Has had 2 runs, never got beaten. And then I have a look here at the form, 13 runs, 3 winners, 9 runners, 2 winners. And I thought, let me do a bit of a homework. So here I had a look at form grids where Purple Merchant won his race. Here you have Yaks Accepted, has won 2 races since. It Must Be Love did ran 2 seconds and a third, then won, run another second again. It Must Be Love is Ashley Fortune. Then here we have English Princess has run a place. Here we have another winner, always on my mind. Here we have Casadora, a winner. Here we have Shastina, already a multiple winner. Conquer the World, last time out was a surprise winner. So out of that form, already a couple of winners. Then let's have a look at this next race. And here we have also a few winners. Sharabi, a winner. and Royal Viewer winner. Not as many as the previous one, but certainly there are winners, and that is always a good sign. So I think number 8, Purple Merchant, in this race today is going to be hard to beat, but he is going to get opposition from number 7, Diamonds and Dust. Um, but let's have a look at my outsider selections in this race. Wildly in Love won nicely last time out. Was getting a -1.5 and can certainly be involved in a finish again. And number 2, Glitter and Gold, is also a horse won 3 races on the trot last year, August, October, and November, and has been running well against another good horse, Nikicha, has run behind that twice, but I think of Calvin Abib on board today, Drawn 2 can also certainly be involved in a finish. And then also number 7 is Diamonds and Dust. He has won 2 in a row, certainly not to be discarded, has beaten some decent horses. Warren Kennedy on board for Clinton Binder, also in with a chance. But there are other horses with chances. Number 3, Beat It, is always a horse it's there and thereabouts. Susie Who can be involved in a finish. See My Vision. He's also slightly improving, but he's due to run a bad race today because, as you can see, he ran one good race, one bad race, one good race, one bad race. So today he's due for a bad race, but that's only a joke. Lava Luva is also a horse that I think has got ability. 1, 2 in a row, and then after there and thereabouts, getting a -2.5, certainly can be there when the photos are taken today. And Bella Ballerina is also a horse that's been running places. Ginger Biscuit, the 9-year-old, still winning, running places, unbelievable. Miss Generosity surprised a few runs back, went start to finish, but since then hasn't shown much. But now today, maybe, and that might be an indicator, he's got Richard Fourie on board today. So certainly maybe you want to pop that in for the back end of your quartets, I would think, Miss Generosity. And then here we have a Royal Majesty, also a horse I do like. Did win last time out nicely after I tipped it. There was some money for it. It was my outright selection last time out and duly won. So all in all, nice card today, but I think a lot of horses with chances. I hope I could point you in the right direction and that you can find a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.